So don't feel like as an affiliate that you're like, oh, I can't approach this brand because I only have 5,000 followers or 2,500 followers. This is the beauty of affiliate marketing is you want to show that brand the same way the brand is going to date the influencer. You're going to date the brand and you're going to show them what you can do for them.
Welcome back to the RV Queens podcast, where we dive into the incredible world of women living life and making money on the road. Today, we have an incredible RV queen joining us, Kati Evans. Kati and her family have been RVing since 2003. They traveled full-time with their kids for 9 years before taking a break. Now, her and her husband are empty nesters and they're back on the road. And Kati is here to share some incredible insights about life and business. That's right, she built a 7-figure business using affiliate marketing, and then leverage that success to coach hundreds of entrepreneurs to do the same thing. Today, we'll dive into how she juggled homeschooling, traveling, and running multiple successful businesses. Plus, she'll share tips for anyone looking to leverage affiliate marketing for their brand or become an affiliate themselves. Whether you're a content creator or a business owner, this episode is packed with gems you don't want to miss. So grab your coffee and let's roll. Real quick before we dive in, hey RV Queen, want to make holiday shopping a breeze this year and support your community? Then you need to check out the RV Queens 2024 Holiday Gift Guide, curated by RV women for RV women. Whether you're looking for intentional gifts that speak to the heart, want to support your fellow travelers, or score some sweet discounts along the way, we've got you covered. Head over to rvqueenspodcast.com/gift guide to download the guide today. This holiday season, let's choose community over consumerism. Kati Evans, welcome to the RV Queens podcast. Where in the world are you these days?
We're in Long Beach, Washington. So right at the tip, like right at the border of Oregon.
I love it. I was just up in that area. You know, Washington, something I didn't know about it was the central west side is very, very gray. And we booked like a month there this summer and we're like, what is this place? Like, where's the Pacific Northwest everyone talks about? So just a word to the wise for people that have not traveled there yet. It's like truly gray. But Long Beach is it's getting sunny, right?
You know what? I am from Washington. I love the gray. I love that mood cloudy. And the sun is actually out today. And it's so hot. And I have 51 degrees. And I'm like, I just want the sun to go away. And I keep thinking, no, it's summer. It's summer. So.
We were in our sweatshirts for most of the summer, which I hate admitting because I feel bad. The rest of the country was sizzling and getting sunburns. And yeah. It's what people come for. All right, woman, your backstory is epic. You and your family started RVing way back in 2003, and you lived and traveled for 9 years. 9 years with your kids in the RV. And this was before it was cool. Then you took a 9-year break after your kids moved out, college, all the stuff. And then over the past year and a half, you started back into full-time RV travel. Plus, one of your daughters and her family travels too, which is amazing. So cool. Where I want to start this interview is actually way back. What was going on in your life leading up to 2004, 2003, 2004, that led your family to full-time RV for 9 years?
You know, there weren't a lot of families on the road back then, obviously. I was just in that moment of my oldest was about to go to elementary school and I panicked and I was like, I can't send her to school, but homeschooling wasn't super common. And the people that did, I was like, I'm not sure about this. I became super, super obsessed and it took us a long time. That was in 2001. We officially kind of hit 2004 is when we got an RV and kind of launched 2004, end of 2003. And I just knew that I wanted something more and I wanted more time with my kids. So that's kind of what started the whole process of us thinking, let's do this.
So then, like, were you guys able to work remotely back then? How did you manage, like, when you did get on the road, affording the lifestyle?
That's honestly one of the reasons why it took so long. They didn't have smartphones back then. We did get flip phones like 3-4 years later, right? Like this is back. And it's tricky because back then you had a satellite that was like 6 feet long and it took like 40 minutes to find the azimuth or whatever you're supposed to find. And it was a little tricky, but that's how we did it. And we just found ways to really enjoy it. And going to New York City and our kids wanted to do a Broadway show, we'd say, hey, we can afford 2 Broadway shows. And if they wanted more, we would figure it out. So we worked at fireworks stands as a family sometimes or Christmas tree stands. And that's how our kids earned extra money for the big fun things we wanted to do.
Oh, I love that so much.
Way easier
so
now.
many good lessons there. Yes, I know. I'm always saying that. It's easier than ever to travel full time. It's easier than ever to homeschool your kids. Like, it's incredible. What a lifestyle. Okay, so you have an incredible background building product-based businesses. You have even hit like 7 figures with several of them, which you attribute to the influencers that you worked with at the time. So before we deep dive into this power of affiliate marketing, tell us about the products and the brands that you've built over the years.
So my largest brand, it was called Hive and Home, and we did candles and wooden bowls. And so I started just doing like home decor because I wanted to go to like Las Vegas shows and buy things at discounts, and I had to have an LLC to do it. So I was like, oh, I'll just start business. And I started kind of buying things, selling them at doing like markets and winter festivals and things. And I had these really cool wood bowls and I tried making a candle in them and they were like awful. And I just kept practicing. It just kind of took off because we really started utilizing content creators, or back then they were basically called influencers, right? And so that's what we did. We just really focused on influencer marketing and got really strategic with building relationships with influencers. And that's how we were able to grow and scale. And that's kind of what took me into my next businesses of coaching influencers and brands.
That is amazing. So was this during your first 9-year RV stint or during the 9-year break, or what was the overlap in RV life and running those businesses?
So we stopped RVing for a little while, and we gave our kids 6 months. So our oldest daughter wanted to do something for 6 months. Our next daughter wanted to do something for 6 months. And then when it came to our boys, one of them wanted to be a farmer for 6 months. So we stopped RVing and we bought a farm, and we decided that we would build up the farm and flip it because we really wanted our kids to have those hands-on life experiences before they left us. Like, what's your passion? Like, that's the beautiful thing about homeschool, right? Is what's your passion, and we'll find you a mentor. So we took a break for a while. They did their thing. They had fun. And then we got back on the road again, looking for kind of our dream property. And then we ended up finding it. And that's when we stopped. And, you're a mom, you homeschool, you're with kids all the time. And then when they start leaving home, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's when I started doing my businesses kind of as a hobby, just to fill that void of missing my kids and all the things.
You built those businesses by yourself, or was your husband kind of on the side involved? And I'm mostly asking that just for like full disclosure for the women that are listening that are like, want to know what the team behind the scenes is.
So I started my business on my own, started doing it. Vern has always been, I think we've been married almost 30 years. Out of those 30 years, he's only left the home like for 7 years to work. We've always had things we've done together. So he was always kind of my helper, but he had his own business at the time. Within 5 months, I went from making them in my home to having 118 employees. So at that point, my husband had to come over because we were manufacturing, we were shipping, we were marketing, influencers. When you're manufacturing, there's so many things on the sidelines. So I had really good employees. That's when my husband came to work for me. And we kind of laughed because he's like, I was your employee. And I kind of liked it. I'm like, yeah, I'm the boss. Not really, but it's fun. So having him be my partner was super, super helpful because we were working 7 days a week, honestly, up to 20 hours a day sometimes. found a niche and we found how to work it so well with some of these influencers that we just exploded. And we got to the point where within 3.5 years, my goal was to hit 6 million in sales and I wanted to sell. There's no way that's going to happen, but I'm a huge believer, like you have to have a goal. You have to write things down, but not only just write them down, it's so important to make a plan. All right, by this month, this is what I'm going to do. And this month, this is what I'm going to do. And I really believe whatever you do in your life, if you want to hit that, if you write it down and you make a plan, it'll work. And so I wrote it down and I was like super intentional. And we finally hit the mark. We were able to get it to about 7 million. It was a little bit seven something. We thought it was 6.8 for a while and we redid it with our taxes the other day. It was 7.2 million. And it was such a cool thing to see that me as a mom who had no skills other than I had skills, but I was a mom, a homeschooler, that I could grow something so big and so large just with the desire to do it. And I think that to me of the whole experience, and I just went on a tangent there, but I really believe that if you want to do something and you enjoy it, you can make it happen if you just put your...
Oh man, that's a powerful story. It's so inspirational too. Okay, so you had so much success using affiliate marketing with your brands that, as you mentioned a minute ago, you developed a coaching program and you taught over 600 businesses your strategy, like how to replicate the success you just had. So for listeners who run their own product-based business, what are like your top 3 or 4 tips for leveraging affiliate marketing?
Yeah. Okay. Such a good question, because we all know that we're all content creators of some sort, right? We all know we're going to get all of those emails saying, hey, do you want to try this product? You're going to be hit over and over, especially as you begin to grow. You're going to have so many brands reaching out to you. And so as a brand, you have to figure out, and this is so cool because everything I'm saying about brands, you can flip it for influencers if you're not a brand. But as a brand, you have to figure out how can you build a relationship. Everything is relationships. That's where I focus on relationship marketing. If I'm going to reach out to RV Queen and send them an email, 50 other people are going to send RV Queens an email. So if you're a brand or if you're an influencer the same way, if you're a brand, start dating those influencers. Really pay attention to what their social media is. And when I say dating, when I approach an influencer, I will date them for about 3 months. 3 times on their post, and I'll comment twice on their story. So they start to see my name. But as I would teach my girls that worked for me in my business, because I had people do it for me after a while, really pay attention. If you're a brand and you're presenting yourself to your influencer, really sit for a minute and think about what can I do as a brand to fill this person's needs? Because I don't know, here's this cut. How can I really make Kate realize this is something that she's going to be able to use and love, and what are the benefits? And then show her also what her followers are going to be able to do and love. I worked with influencers. They became my dear friends. I got invited to their house for dinner. I lived in Utah. Utah's influencer mecca. We got invited to parties. Like when they're sick, send them chicken noodle soup from Panera. Crumble cookies like gold. If there's an influencer you want to work with and you see that she had a hard day, send her a crumble cookie. We don't want someone to be a one-time, look how cute my cup is. We want me to walk around and talk about this cup all the time. And then if you're doing affiliate marketing, that becomes residual income, because affiliate marketing really can be residual income, and it really should be. When you do a paid collaboration, it's a one-time deal. That's a one-time deal. Affiliate marketing is residual as long as you keep sharing it.
For listeners who want to be affiliates, what insights can you give on what brands are looking for in an affiliate partner?
The coolest thing is as a brand, and we had a very large presence. We would have about 300 affiliates at a time working for us. We had 800,000 or 3 million followers. If you had 4,000 to 10,000, you were my sweet spot. So don't feel like as an affiliate that you're like, oh, I can't approach this brand because I only have 5,000 followers or 2,500 followers. This is the beauty of affiliate marketing, is you want to show that brand the same way the brand is going to date the influencer. You're going to date the brand and you're going to show them what you can do for them. Affiliate marketing is wonderful because as a brand, I'm only taking a chance on you by giving you product. So I don't have to pay you. So it's a lot easier for a small affiliate to say, hey, I want to work with you. This is what I can offer you. And I take a risk on you because I'm able to send you a product and it won't cost me that much. I only pay you if you perform well. And that's why brands really like affiliates, because affiliates have to work hard for the money that they earn. And so if you want to be an affiliate marketer, I would really start looking at products that are in your niche, but outside of your niche. What about the purse that I only have to have one purse now instead of 10? You guys, the purse I have, I'd officially show it tomorrow for the first time. This thing has changed my life. This is something I know all RVers need. I literally threw 7 purses away, you guys, for this one purse. It's everything. It does everything. That's what you want to look at. You want to look at things that people in your industry are interested in, but you don't want to sell the same exact things.
Yeah. And I always say, look for the white space, look for where no one else is talking about this thing. Like one of the girls in RV Queen circles, Brooke Skobstead, I think is her name. Shout out if you're listening to this, Brooke. She reached out to a wallpaper company, like a nice wallpaper company, to partner with her, even though she lives in an RV. Like, what other RV are you seeing that's like trying to have sponsored wallpaper? But it's brilliant because these walls are boring and everyone wants to liven up the space. And why not put some high-end wallpaper in here to make it feel luxurious? It was brilliant. So my understanding from getting to know you in the RV Queen circles is that you sold your businesses at some point and now you're on the other side of the industry as a content creator working with brands. So real quick, because I'm super curious and we're talking to RV women who are business owners, how was that experience of selling your businesses and stepping away from this thing you created and poured your, blood, sweat, and tears, as we all know in business, poured your soul into? How was that experience for you?
The person that purchased our business bought it with an SBA loan, but we ended up financing over half of it. And that person didn't realize how much work it was to run a business because you're manufacturing, you have hundreds of employees. And we closed it and did a personal bankruptcy after a year because it was too much work for her. And so that was like this dramatic feeling. But as for me, like you said, it was my baby, my blood, sweat, and tears. It was 7 days a week. And it was a really difficult situation for about 6 months until I had to just really tell myself that I worked really hard to build something. My health was kind of struggling. I have some health things and I just needed to be grateful. I got a good chunk up front, all the things, but just be grateful and take it as a learning lesson. Because if anything, especially us women on the road, if anything that we have to learn is everything's a learning situation. And, let's say it's 110 degrees and your tire blows and all the things, like you can be a crabby, grouchy mom and get mad at your husband, or you can be like, you know what, this is okay. And I have so many things in life. So that story of rainbows and unicorns I thought I was going to get went downhill. I've learned so much about myself. And now I feel grateful and find gratitude for everything.
What a dose of reality too, because, you never hear people talk about that side of growing a business and then selling it, something like that happens, but that's how it is. So now that you've been through all of that, you are back in your RV life and you're a content creator. So what is your approach now on this side of the industry to pursuing and working with brands?
I was in the home decor industry, and anyone that was super passionate, I knew I might want to work with them. And so what we've done is we have just written down a list of items that are high ticket items. We got about $25,000 electric trikes when we only had 2,400 followers. And I didn't feel real comfortable reaching out to them with only 2,400 followers. I thought there's no way they're going to work with us. But my husband and I sat down and we just really wrote out what were our passions. Why do we think our people would be interested to be able to have them be a partner with us? To businesses and brands, we're not selling our follower count. We're not selling our engagement rates. We're not selling how many sales we had with the product last month. We're selling that and finding really great success in that because we're able to make a difference to the brands because we can find the passion that they need to sell. And that's kind of how we're looking at it with approaching brands right now.
Man, that's a powerful story. So what should content creators look for when they are assessing a brand's affiliate offering. And I'm looking for like really tactical advice, like percentages and commissions and stuff like that. What do you look for?
So I was actually just talking to a brand yesterday that I'm helping. And as an influencer, I had to explain this to her. She wanted to do 10% discount for her customers and 10% commission for the affiliate. As you approach a brand, and if they come to you with an offer, look at the numbers. So this particular brand, that isn't worth it to me as an affiliate to take my space on my calendar. So as an affiliate, if there's a product that's $40, they're getting a $3.40 commission. Look at the numbers and make sure it works for you. And don't be afraid to go back to a brand. Affiliate fees aren't set in stone. All of the programs that they use are very diverse, can change them affiliate to affiliate. So look at the amount of money that you're going to make and look at how many you think you can sell. I literally have written down on my goal sheet, I have to sell that helmet 20 times a month. Ask yourself, how many times a month do you think you can sell that? And then decide if it's worth it. Do I sell 20 every month? No. Once I sold 13, 1 month I sold 35. But because it's a product that I use all of the time, I'm able to do a soft sell and gently leave that affiliate code there, and then people buy it. And so ask yourself, is this a product that you can use all of the time? Make sure that the brand is willing to let you have an open code, meaning you can share that code anytime you want, and really look at high ticket items. And when you do that, though, be very careful, because there's a chair that I just started showing this week. You guys, it's so cool, but it's a $270 chair. I make a lot of money on it when I sell it. I think I make like $80. But I know that not many of my $180 chair. So also look at the likelihood of your followers purchasing. You have to know who your followers are and what they're interested in, because we can sell things all day long, but if our followers aren't interested, then it won't make us sell. So those are the 4 things I would look at for sure.
Oh my gosh, so smart. And then a follow-up question to that is, how many brands do you feel comfortable representing in your calendar as a content creator?
We have 18 that we feel like we work with right now that are on repeat. And those are really easy brands. 4 of them are new. So you want to make sure that you're not overselling to your people. So don't jump in and all of a sudden start doing affiliate marketing for 20 things. Make sure that you're still putting out real content that people are engaged in. And so really find a balance. For us, it's 18 that we're working with right now. That are long term. Really find a balance, because if you start overselling, people are going to stop trusting you and they're going to stop watching you as much. That's a big, big thing. It's a really good question. Really good question.
So do you have a ratio of like how many posts or reels, how much content you're putting out that's just lifestyle, sharing your life, sharing your stories, whatever, that's like real life, and representing a brand?
So it's very, very rare that I'll actually do a reel for a brand. It's very rare. I did one the other day for a water filter company just to be nice. I did a reel for the new chair. It must sound like I'm on record, but I say that in all of my posts because I want that empty nester when they find my account that they want an RV, that they can be fun grandparents and do the things and live a great life. You want to talk to them. So you don't want to put a lot of your sales in your post. If you're doing that yourself and enough money to use your feed, to use your reel space as content for them, it's not worth it. So I look at doing that in my stories. I would probably say 70-30. You could push it 60-40 if you push it with the soft sale. I don't have to say this was made from this company and it was $25 and it fits your head tight and it keeps you from getting hurt. Nobody cares about that. No one cares about the 3 stages of a water filter. And I did one of those ads for a company the other day because we needed one. I'm like, this is so boring.
Also, it's interesting as a content creator, the way that I view content now is like the more storytelling and the more creative people are whenever they just like drop a brand in there. I'm like taking notes. I'm like, oh, dang, that was smooth, like all of the content that you just like gave an example of how you dropped it in your stories, how you said, so many of you have asked for the what this bike helmet is or what this water cup is. It's so smooth. And as a content like consumer, I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people have asked her about this cup. Like just these tiny little hooks that you have, it's genius. Like that's what I go through and I like start to take note of because that's good storytelling.
It's such a cool thing. And you can do this as an influencer, a content creator. We would reach out to that content creator if they did a good job and we liked them. And we'd say, you know what, Kate, I really, really want to design a custom candle for you. Do you like woodsy or do you like, earth? Do you like sweet or do you like salty? And we would send 3 or 4 tiny little containers of wax and we would let them pick. And we'd say, you know what, Kate, we're going to call this the RV Queen candle, and we're going to let you sell it for 30 days just to your people. And that made our influence feel so important because they're like, oh, I'm going to sell this RV Queen candle all day long. As an influencer, you can do the same thing. And that's one thing that we do. We just reached out to a brand and we said, hey, we're Vern and Katie. This is what we do. We are super invested in our grandkids. We don't travel with all of them. You've got this product. We think our people will love it. We want to create a nomad nester bundle that we want to offer to our followers. Can we take these 3 products, have you merge them into a bundle? It doesn't cost that brand a dime. You just showed the brand that you're super invested. You just showed them that, hey, I know your product. As a brand, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm only going to send you the product. It's not going to cost me anything. So get creative and really use your strong points. Like, what are things that you talk about? Because in your content on your reels and your post, you should be selling.
Girl, yes. I am going to go re-listen to this after it's recorded and take notes from you because you are a branding genius. This has been so helpful and so inspiring for all of us, Katie. You are such a gem. So will you go ahead and share with listeners where they can connect with you online? And then I will ask my final question.
Yeah. So we are nomad.nesters on Instagram and Facebook. And we have a blog and we have a YouTube channel and we don't do anything with them. So you'll find us there, but there's nothing underneath it. So we're mainly on Facebook and Instagram is where we focus.
All right. So whenever you think back to Katie in 2003, before RV life, and then fast forward to Katie now, what has changed?
The very best thing besides marrying my husband was RV life for our family. And that is because that time being together as a family and being so invested changed me to realize that the things that matter most were in that 300 square feet, and they still are. And I think the biggest thing that I learned during that time is it didn't matter. And you have to remember, back then it was super uncommon. I mean, my mother-in-law, threatened to call CPS. They were scared. It was weird. It was scary, all the things. And I learned really quickly that my choices for my family and myself, I knew inside what was right. I knew what we needed and not to worry about the outside world because there's a lot of judgment and a lot of things people can decide that you're doing right or wrong if you're in a house or if you're in an RV. But truly, it gave me the sense of power as a mom and as a partner with my husband that I 100% was responsible for knowing what was right for my family. And that might sound really small, but it was a really big thing because even now, as we're in the parenting adult kids and grandkids and all the things, know what our responsibility and our place is and what is important and how we manage and handle that. And I think not worrying about anyone else thinks outside of your 4 walls was probably the biggest.
So good. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing that with us. That was so inspirational. Thank you again for being on the show today, Katie. I have really enjoyed this conversation and getting to know you even more. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode and for being part of the RV Queens community. Remember to hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. And guess what? You can have conversations like I had on this episode with your fellow RV women who are living intentionally and making money on the road. Head to rvqueenspodcast.com/community to join RV Queen Circles today. It's a totally unique online space with a shared prosperity model that's all about community over competition. I'd love to have you be a part. All right, guys, I'll see you next week, or hopefully I will see you on the road. What is this place?